Hey Sagittarius, we are going to be doing your reading, so we're going to get right into it and see what is going on for you guys, Sag. Oh, all right, Sagittarius. I just saw pretty sure that was the Knight of Wands. All right, Sagittarius, let's see. Sag. Guess we're starting here, Saggy. All right, King of Swords. Whoa, a lot of court cards. All right, Ace of Swords at the bottom. All right, interesting. So let's see what's going on here, Sag. You have, so the King of Swords is showing up for your current energy here. So I think there's something here that you are, I want to say deeply, deeply trying to figure something out, okay? Maybe this is something to do with communication, or there's something that you're maybe feeling like something has not been brought into justice. I'm looking at your cards. I'm like, what is going on here, Sag? So, all right, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there's something here that you're like, no, I need this to like be fair. I need this to like be brought to, brought to justice. That's kind of what I'm understanding here. So, all right, let's see. I definitely understand like investigation, or like, I don't really know if it's investigation. It's, maybe trying to figure out something very logically here, okay? Or there's something that you're maybe wanting to like put forth or say, something like that, okay? Maybe even trying to organize something here, but it really feels like there's, it feels suspicious, and I'm not exactly, well, your challenge looks a little interesting. So let's keep going and see what's going on. So you have the Queen of Pentacles. This is showing up in your environment. I feel like there's maybe an energy of you that maybe you're kind of logically based here, and maybe somebody around you is kind of taking more of a practical approach to something, that kind of stuff, okay? I also feel like this is maybe something that you have maybe reached like a certain level of mastery in something, okay? That kind of stuff. And I wonder if there's something around you that you could either kind of like maybe help out that situation, or there's maybe something going on around you that you are in charge of actually like cultivating something, putting something together, that kind of stuff, maybe wanting to do something in a resourceful way, that kind of thing, okay? All right. I'm even understanding something about you guys, maybe even wanting to do something like, I don't know, the Queen of Pentacles really gives me like DIY energy a lot, that kind of stuff. So maybe there's something here that you're trying to, I don't know, figure out something in the terms of like doing it yourself or putting something together, that kind of stuff. All right. All right. So let's see. You guys, so, all right, this is interesting. So Sag, you guys have Banish a Curse, and this is showing up for your challenge. All right. Like take it with a grain of salt. You also have it with the King of Cups. Okay. So both showing up for your challenge here. So there could be something, I mean, with this King of Cups and the Banish a Curse, I wonder if you've been, I don't know, this is a tricky one. I'm like, how do I phrase this? So yes, maybe there is something here that you really are just feeling like this is not fair. Like, again, this is not fair, that kind of stuff. You might be like seeking justice on whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff, okay? Certainly could be. This King of Cups, I feel this energy being like, dude, I kind of like, it's like, I can feel this. Like there's something here that I do think that you're feeling a certain level of like something's wrong or what's going on, that kind of stuff. You might even be challenged by a situation where maybe you're like, okay, that really just was like, somebody got the information wrong, or feeling like, I almost want to say like feeling like the friggin' world is against you, something about that, Sag, okay? That kind of stuff. So, all right, let's see. I also think that there's something here, Sagittarius, where somebody might have really kind of like done you dirty, pissed you off, or like mistreated you in some way here, that I wonder if you're like, you know what, I kind of want to like get even on this, but I also feel like you're maybe like, yeah, I know, but that's not really what that's not really what I want to do, or that goes against like what I really feel, or you know what I'm saying? Like something like that, okay? That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, like King of Cups showing up for your challenge, and then you're showing up as the King of Swords. It's like, feels like you're in this very like logical type of like cause and reaction type of mind state, but I feel like the challenge is that you have a really big heart. You know what I'm saying? That's what it feels like. And I also feel like there might even be some hurt feelings or something like that because of either, again, something that's like, that you're seeing as like, well, this person or this situation was just totally like not fair, that kind of stuff. And I really do feel, yeah, Sag, this is an interesting one, because I feel like you almost should be more pissed off than you are. So what I can kind of understand there is there really is a level of like emotional intelligence, that kind of stuff that's like coming into play, or that you're kind of good at that kind of thing, okay? That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So, all right, you have, for your opportunity, you guys have the Sun card, and then you have it with number 4, feel, don't think. So that's friggin' awesome, okay? This feels like there really is something here where it's like, that's what I'm saying. This whole thing here is like, your challenge is actually not so challenging, okay? Because the reason why I'm saying that is because I really feel like this whole situation here, like we haven't even like clarified or gotten like more energy out, and it already feels so clear cut that it's just a situation here that is really kind of asking you to feel instead of think, okay? So that's what I'm saying. Maybe your logical mind is like taking over, or again, it could be that energy of like, no, I want this to be fair, I want this to be brought into justice, that kind of situation. You know, it's like I don't know, there's something here where it's like really, really like feeling a situation, or feeling like thinking from your heart as opposed to your brain, really. That's kind of what I feel like is going on here. So that's interesting. All right, let's see what else here is Sagittarius. Hey Sag, you know what? The King of Cups was freaking all over the place, dude, in last week's or 2 weeks ago. I don't even know. It was super, super recent. Was in like all of the readings. Page of Cups is right there. What the heck? You're dealing with somebody who is not emotionally, who is acting out. They're acting either out of character, or they are like extremely defensive about something, or okay, let's see. What's going on? Sag. I mean, I kind of feel like we have a little bit of a mystery here, Sagittarius. So, all right, let's see. All right. Ooh, 2 cards just came out for your opportunity. I feel like that's good. It's always good. All right, let's see what's going on here. So, all right, let's see. With this banish a curse energy, you guys have the King of Cups, and you have it with the 3 of Pentacles here. I mean, I just feel like your challenge is maybe working together in some capacity to, like, again, fix something that again, it was like that was not correct, or this was not this was not, I just want to say this was not correct, or like that kind of thing, okay? Banishing a curse is like, I think that's really like strong, okay? That feels really, really like strong energy, okay? But I'm like, what the heck do I do with this? Because, all right, so if you're like feeling a level of like, oh my God, banish a curse, like what the heck, like that kind of stuff, just up your protection. And also, if you just kind of like say no to that energy, then that's really all you got to do, okay? That's really it, all right? That kind of stuff. But I feel like you are in this mode of being like, should I return this or should I not? That's what I'm feeling like strongly, okay? I'm actually not going to make that decision for you, Sag, okay? That's absolutely not something that I'm not going to tell you what to do in that capacity, okay? You have this feel, don't think card, so this is showing up for your opportunity. I would definitely, you know, kind of keep that in the back of your head here. So, all right, you guys might be dealing with a Leo, okay? You have the Sun card showing up twice. That happened, I swear to God, I'm having friggin' deja vu. That happened to either Aries or actually, I think it was Aries that Leo was all in their reading. So all right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so you guys have the reverse 6 of Pentacles, and this is showing up for what you're not able to control. I feel like you are not able to control a situation where maybe somebody else has already returned something, okay? Or somebody else maybe is wanting to not contribute to something, or you know, that's kind of what I'm feeling. Like, it feels like there's this like real back and forth between like, okay, how do I go about this? Like, do I kind of bring this thing to justice, or do I kind of just like use my heart and really be like compassionate and understanding about something? Or it's like this thing of like, well, was this done on purpose, or was this like done out of malice, or whatever the heck it is? But I'm telling you, Sag, I feel that there is this energy where you've like, again, I feel like you could be, I want to say like you could be angrier, that like, I feel like people would not be surprised if you were angrier than you were presenting. Okay, I don't know how else to like explain that, but that's that's like what I'm understanding here, and that's what I'm saying about, I think that you guys have a really high level of emotional intelligence, or you are naturally incredibly compassionate, and it might be like, oh yeah, like I want to like return this, or I want to like kind of give this back, or whatever it is. But it might be that you're like, yeah, but that really goes against like my heart, my intuition, that kind of stuff. Okay, that's what I'm feeling. You might even be feeling, I mean, I do think you should really lean into your intuition. That seems, I mean, feel, don't think, that's pretty much what that is, okay? That kind of stuff, like kind of turning off your brain so that you are able to like feel, you know, that kind of stuff. And not for nothing, you're going to get a lot more information and clarity in that way, okay? That kind of stuff. So, all right. All right. You guys have the Page of Wands, and this is showing up as what you can control. So there is something about, I want to say moving energy. I do understand that. I think it's more so like in the way that you do it, okay? That kind of stuff. It's like something might have already been returned, that kind of stuff. Again, if you're feeling that energy, like first of all, you know, I don't even know what to say about that really. I really like don't, I mean, I could go off for a long time, but I don't want to make your whole reading like, you know, that type of thing, okay? All right, so let's see. Page of Wands, yes, I do think that you have this, I think that part of whatever this is maybe kind of like looking for something kind of new or doing something like maybe spur of the moment, that kind of stuff. I will also say this Page of Wands to me is very much like, you know, kind of feeling, okay? This really isn't like a thinking type of card. It's more so basing something off of like impulses or like, you know, an inner drive, an inner feeling of some sort, that kind of stuff. So that might be something it's like giving you clues or in some capacity, but I also think this is like, I want to say like walking it off or like, I don't know, doing something that is maybe moving your body around, or another way to kind of release energy that is maybe that is going to make you feel like, okay, I followed like the my like moral code, or you know what I'm saying, or whatever, or your belief system, whatever the heck it is, you know. So you have the Sun card. This is showing up as your next steps forward. So I really feel like this is leaning on the side of happiness, that kind of stuff. Maybe there's something about revealing a particular thing, that kind of stuff, okay? Certainly could be, but I also feel like this really does have something to do with, again, leaning on the side of like optimism, or even like being like, I'm going to see the bright side of something, whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. At the very least, this could be like having fun with something, okay? I'll tell you something. Some really cool person put a comment on like my old page, my old YouTube channel, and they were like, who do you think you are? Return to sender. And I was like, all right, fool. Okay, fool. Like, seriously, take several seats right now. But anyway, I don't know. I made some joke about like the Breakfast Club, and I was like, all right, there you go. Like, I mean, anyway, move on with your day. So like, I don't know. There's something like that. It's like you can get really pissed off about it, or you can kind of like try and see the humor in something. Okay, that kind of stuff. That could be part of whatever this is. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. I will say one thing here with all this Sun card energy, if this, and the Page of Wands here, if this is like on behalf of like someone doing something dirty to your child, something like that, go for it, man. I swear to God, return that times a million, all right? Like really, okay? That I don't play with at all. So if this is like somebody doing a return or something like that because they are protecting their child or a young person, then to me, that's like, we're talking about something different. And you know what? Mama bears, papa bears, all that kind of stuff, you got to protect your kids. I get it, okay? Absolutely. So Sag, this is a wild reading so far. I'm like, okay, so let's keep going here. All right, you have number 4, feel, don't think. Maybe FDT is acronyms that make sense to somebody here. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right. Oh my God, dude, this also says BC, and that's exactly, or it says BAC, but that is the exact friggin' movie reference that I was like, all right, this feels really personal, so this is hilarious. All right, let's keep going. So feel, don't think. Cool. That's showing up in for your opportunity. You have it with the Sun card, and you also had 2 cards like come out with this. You have the 9 of Swords and the 9 of Pentacles. So double 9s here, okay? That kind of stuff that, you know, there is double numbers going on here, which I actually feel like is kind of nice, okay, showing up in your for your opportunity. So yeah, your opportunity, I'm telling you, definitely it's like going on the side of optimism, that kind of stuff, okay? That's what I'm understanding. I do understand maybe there's something about protecting a child or doing something, again, maybe like doing something in a way that it is like, again, like having a little bit of fun with something, or there's like, you know, a little bit of a revealing something, like kind of, I don't know, like hinting at something almost is kind of what I'm understanding here. But I do think this has to do with like really feeling out a situation or feeling out the energy, that kind of stuff. Okay. Certainly could be. I'll tell you another thing. I am getting like very much like child energy. So I don't know. This is like I don't know. I'm not sure. This is it's a little bit interesting. So let's keep going here. Okay. So yes, opportunity, the Sun card, 9 of Swords, and the 9 of Pentacles. I definitely understand immature energy coming through. This is maybe something that it's like, hey, you might have even known that. You might have been feeling like this is somebody who's extremely immature, or who's literally like a child, like seriously a child, you know, that kind of stuff. we don't curse children, okay? We don't return to sender to kids. That's disgusting. So we don't do that. Okay. That's wild. So yeah. Interesting, Sagittarius. So, okay, let's see here. So, Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, I feel like there is something here that it's like you do have the opportunity to possibly feel why maybe you're feeling a little bit like paranoid about something, or maybe there's something here where something happened over and over and over and over and over again, that kind of stuff. But I feel like your opportunity is maybe to work through some serious anxiety, that kind of stuff. Again, maybe practicing something over and over again, and then being like, okay, you know what? I can do this by myself. Now I feel very much independent, or I feel unlinked with whatever this is. Okay, that kind of stuff. All right, being like, I'm not so dependent on whatever that is, that kind of stuff. Like, I almost feel like you might be, I wonder if you're feeling like the only way to remove energy off of you or something is to do this, like, you know, like some like fancy ritual and this, that, the other. In my opinion, that I don't think you need like all the bells and whistles, that kind of stuff. Okay, it's really about like your intention, that kind of thing, and like your belief, like going into it, you know, that type of stuff. Like, I don't think you need like to follow like a recipe book, like step by step. You certainly can. Okay, I am not like I don't make the rules on this stuff, man. I don't know, but you know, it might be, it's like, hey, you don't have to be so like strategic about something, but maybe more so like organic, really feeling a situation out, that kind of stuff. And I do think this also is like relying on your compassion and your intuition to figure something out and maybe come to some understanding, or, you know, something like that. So, all right, you have the Death card, and this is showing up as your skills here. I think you have the skills to squash something, that kind of stuff. And I also will tell you another thing, if this whole return to sender business, Sag, maybe this is something that you're like, I actually recycle that energy. I put that right into the ground. So like, joke's on you, that kind of stuff. Okay, that could be part of whatever it is here. I also feel like you have the skills to maybe transition through a particular situation here, maybe going from like, you know, being like, all right, I'm super pissed off, I'm going to do this. Maybe there's something that you're like, you know what, I'm able to like, again, transition that emotion, or you know, that kind of stuff, transition something to kind of rely more on a feelings based type of thing, an intuitive type of thing, rather than an assumption of something, or feeling like, oh, it has to be this because, you know, whatever it is, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, you have the Queen of Swords. This is showing up as possible help. So I feel like this is somebody who either knows the absolute truth about whatever this is, or this is maybe somebody who has witnessed something, who is like literally, they've seen something, witnessed something, that kind of stuff, and maybe has no problem being like, I'm gonna tell you the truth about this, or I can like kind of clarify this situation for you, that kind of thing. Okay, what I also understand is going into something intuitively, clear-minded, okay, that kind of stuff, and then analyzing maybe afterwards. Okay, then maybe critiquing, analyzing, something like that afterwards, but not so much in the moment. All right, that's what I'm feeling. You have this Hermit card here, and this is showing up for your next step. So a little interesting with all this friggin' Sun card energy. There is something here you might have just like known since a child, or there's maybe something here that is like, relying on something that you maybe had to do by yourself, or it's like, again, relying on like the way that you would do something. I gotta tell you, for some of you guys, if you're like super like witchcrafty, that kind of stuff, sometimes this Hermit card, it's like going into like your little bag of tricks, or going into like, you know, if you like take notes on stuff or whatever the heck it is, that kind of stuff. That's almost like kind of the energy that I understand with this, is like kind of like reviewing your notes, or going into like something so that you can like, yeah, like review something that you've already done, or review something that maybe you're like, okay, I want to know more about this, or I want to refresh my memory so that I can bring this out into the open and be quite confident with the information that you're kind of presenting, or that is being presented to you, that kind of stuff. So, all right, wild stuff here, Sag. So, all right, let's just get a little bit more for your challenge and opportunity. Wow. All right, a lot of like, yeah, definitely a lot of Leo energy. There's the Fool card. So, okay. All right. Okay. I'm not really sure. All right. All right, so let's see. Back over to your challenge. You guys again have this Banish a Curse, King of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles here. And then you have it with the reverse Six of Pentacles and the Fool card. That's the Fool card that was jumped out before. So this is showing up for what you're not able to control. I do think that this is maybe somebody who did maybe said something or kind of, yeah, said something like without kind of thinking, that kind of stuff. Or this is maybe an energy of what you can't control is somebody who did kind of like maybe something that was like had like strings attached, you know, that kind of stuff. I also feel like somebody maybe like placed something in the wrong location, or I don't know, or took something back, whatever it was, and maybe you like needed that, or it like caused some issue where now you're feeling like, okay, well, I have to take a leap of faith, or you know, that kind of stuff. All right, I do understand like something about, again, like something that's one-sided. So that's interesting to me. And I almost feel like, I know this is showing up in your for like what you can't control about your challenge, but I weirdly feel like that's actually going in your favor. Okay. You know, blessings in disguises, that kind of stuff, that happens all the time. All right. So I don't know. I'm kind of understanding that energy with this. So you have the Page of Wands with the Hanged Man, and this is showing up for what you can control. So yeah, I think there's just a different way to, again, move energy, or a different way to like do something that's maybe you're feeling like antsy or feeling like an impulse for something here, that kind of stuff. It's either like what you can control is like you literally like calming somebody else down or slowing somebody else down, that kind of stuff, like being like, okay, you need to like take a break, like that kind of stuff. Or again, this is maybe doing something kind of, again, impulsively. And by that, I really do see, I don't really mean impulsively. I mean like instinctually, okay? Like feeling it, and then like that instinct, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like there's something here where it's like doing something in a different way, okay, that kind of stuff. Or maybe even understanding like somebody else's perspective, or maybe why somebody did something, like, you know, I want to say like trigger happy, or like, you know, like doing something like really quickly without really kind of thinking, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. So, all right, you have the Sun card, and then you have it with the reverse Page of Swords, and this is showing up as your next step. So there is something about, I want to say, either keeping gossip, whatever the heck it is, to yourself in some sense, okay? Especially if it's like already, here's the thing, it's like if something's already been revealed, it's like almost like, it's like, I'm going to listen to that, but not necessarily like follow that advice or something about that. And I also think that there's something here, the next steps, I got to tell you, there's something about like, I'm not kidding here, like not talking about a certain person's kid. I'm like, I don't know. This seems so specific. Okay. So I can't even imagine that anybody would be out there talking about somebody's kids. Okay. I really can't friggin' even like wrap my head around that, but I don't know. Maybe that is something that's like happening, that kind of stuff. And it's like, hey, next steps, like don't friggin' do that, or don't gossip about a particular thing, that kind of stuff. There maybe is something that you're like avoiding in some sense here, or that maybe is like the energy to do is to avoid a particular thing, or to not share specific information with somebody that you know damn well is going to broadcast that all over the place if you're wanting something to be kind of subdued, quiet, that kind of stuff. Okay. So, all right, let's see. All right. So back over to your opportunity. You guys have this feel, don't think card. Again, this is with the Sun card, Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. You have the Death card with the reverse Six of Wands here. And this is showing up for your skills. So yes, there is definitely something here about keeping something private, or there's something here about doing something without needing like all the fanfare, that kind of stuff. Okay. That type of situation. You might be somebody who's like, you know what? I don't need like recognition for whatever this is, or I don't need to be, okay. It's either that you know how to transition something before it like makes its way to you, or again, this is the energy of you like changing something really quickly so that you're able to show up to something extremely fast. Okay. That kind of stuff. All right. I almost get like the Eight of Wands reversed in this reading, okay, that kind of stuff. And I want to say that that's protection. I almost feel like that's, I feel like that's, I almost want to say that's like me protecting you. I'm almost feeling that. All right, so let's see. You guys have the Queen of Swords, and you have it with this friggin' Seven of Swords here. This is showing up for possible help. This is somebody who has no problem telling a lie, or this is somebody who is so good at analyzing a situation, breaking it down, understanding what the heck it is that they're seeing, hearing, whatever it is, that kind of stuff, and then having an extremely good strategy or approach to either escape some situation or to get exactly what it is that they want. Okay, that kind of thing. This is somebody in your environment or somebody that you know, that kind of stuff. This maybe is even that maybe this is a part of you, okay? That maybe this is a part of your energy here that's maybe more analytical, but it's like doing something for a particular reason, okay? That kind of stuff. I do wonder if there's something about maybe telling a little bit of a lie, or there's something about like the help is like, maybe it's like, you know exactly what, like, who did what, or what, I don't know, something about that, but it might be that somebody might be avoiding something on your behalf, okay? Or that you are able to avoid something on somebody else's behalf. There's something like that, okay? This is a very confusing reading, all right? It's really confusing. Or it's like, no, it's confusing. That's what it is. So you have the Hermit card and you have it with the Moon card. This is showing up as your next steps. God, there is really something about secrecy here, which is really interesting because you have the Sun card twice. So this is like revealing what it is that you want, or being happy about some situation here for, I don't know what reason, for a reason that can only assume is extremely personal to you, okay? That kind of stuff. Maybe the element of fire or sun or I don't know, something like that is being highlighted, or something that you kind of understand there. But this Hermit and the Moon card is like real, like to me, this is like going into like an incredibly intuitive state, that kind of stuff, okay? And also facing fears, that kind of stuff, and allowing yourself to feel. But I think it's like like an inner feeling, your intuition, you know, that kind of stuff. It's like really, really listening to your intuition, but you can't do that if you're worried about this, that, and the other, and thinking about like, you know, something from like an extremely logical perspective, or you know, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm feeling here. So that was a really long reading. Sorry, Sagittarius. But that's what I have for you guys. So I hope this reading was helpful and made sense, all that kind of stuff. If not, you could check your other placements. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back for your next one. Thank you. Bye.